Now, if you went out knocking yesterday, you probably realized that not everyone understands the value of your service when you first show up at their door. Some of them may think they don't need an inspection or don't want an inspection, but this is where you put on your teaching hat. Now, there are a few people that don't qualify for our process. If a homeowner is already in a contract with another contractor, just knock another door. You don't want to spend the next 6 months of your life in litigation. Obviously, if they don't have insurance, we can't file a claim, but that rarely happens. One thing that does occur now and then is the homeowner who files a claim and uses the money from the first check to pay for their mortgage or to fly to Aruba, whatever. An insurance company isn't going to pay to fix a roof twice, and most policies require you to fix the roof within 24 months in order to get the second check. These are the only two situations I can think of where it doesn't make sense for a homeowner to use our system. Obviously, we can offer these homeowners a price to pay out of pocket if they're interested, or if you run into any other funny situations that we haven't covered and you think that someone doesn't qualify, don't assume that we can't help. Give me a call and let's discuss how to handle it. Now let's talk about objections in general. When someone gives you an objection, you should welcome it. They're engaging you in a conversation and giving you the opportunity to teach them. If you do this long enough and you're out in the field handling objections on a day-to-day basis, there's going to come a day that you realize that the moment a homeowner asks you a question or gives you an objection, you're going to instantly feel like you have that contract. Because if you know how to engage people and teach them the value of the service we provide, there is no reason for anyone to say no. So let's talk first about two very rude things that some salespeople do when handling objections that I never want to see you do. I never want to see you throw up or defecate on one of our customers. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, throw up is the method every rookie wants to use. For every objection, you want a canned answer that you can just puke right onto that homeowner. So if the homeowner says, "I can't afford it," you immediately puke, "We have financing." Sometimes this method works, but we're going to do it better than that. Now, the far worst crime for salespeople is defecating on our customers. What do I mean by that? How many seasoned sales guys do you know that take great pride at well, let's keep it professional and just call it BS. This is an art of talking around the question, basically like a war of attrition where you wear the customer down to the point that they sign the contract just to get you to leave them alone. BS is the reason salespeople get a bad name. If you have to BS your way to a sales, you're terrible at your craft, and there's no place for you here at Stay Dry. If people understand our process, there's no reason to say no. So handling objections is simply a matter of educating the homeowner. So in handling objections, we should emulate the three best teachers of all time: Jesus, Socrates, and Columbo. I'm going to start with Socrates because his techniques are by far the most important and also the hardest to learn. The Socratic method refers to a method of teaching people by asking them questions. Now, I want you to fully understand the power of this. I just showed up to your door uninvited in the middle of your hectic evening talking to you about your roof that you probably haven't thought a thing about for months. When I talk to you, are you engaged? Are you listening to me? Do you even believe a word that I say? But let's think about the words that come out of your mouth. Are you going to believe the things that you say? Are you engaged in the words that you speak? Of course you are. And here's the great thing. Most people will answer questions if you ask them. So if you're prepared for every objection that can come along with a series of questions, you can guide homeowners logically to the point where they realize on their own that they should work with you. This is when the job gets really fun. When you learn to treat every objection like a little logic puzzle, and you can walk each homeowner into realizing that they should work with you. Your closing ratios are going to improve, and homeowners will like working with you a lot more because you're not wasting their time. Now, I'm certain some of you are sitting there wondering who in the world is Columbo and why in the world am I including him on a list with Socrates and Jesus? Columbo was a detective in an old TV show. He had a very bumbling style that made everyone think he was kind of an idiot. He would question the bad guy and completely seem to have no idea what was going on. And then at the end, he would close the interview and start to walk away, but just before he left, he would ask that one more thing that just sort of seemed to pop in his head. And it would always be the question that seemed completely innocuous, but proved that the bad guy was guilty. Now, Columbo probably doesn't qualify as a teacher, but his style is so effective in sales that this is known by many in sales as the Columbo close. Basically what you do is you're going to agree with the homeowner's objection, kind of act like the sale is over, and then ask one more simple question that gets the sale. Now, the final teacher we're going to talk about is Jesus. How did Jesus teach? He taught through parables. A parable is really just a story about someone else. Stories make your sale far more compelling because they show you are experienced, and it shows the joy or pain that someone else suffered. For example, if I tell you as a homeowner, you really need to file a claim within 12 months of the storm, or the insurance company can deny it. Now, that's not very compelling. On the other hand, try it this way. So I was with Josh at an adjuster meeting earlier this year. This guy's home had been hit with some pretty large hail, but he didn't file a claim right away. So the sun had beat down on that shingles where the granules were missing, and it actually caused that little divot to boil and get larger. And these were so bad, you could actually see the fiberglass underneath. I could tell this guy was going to have some problems with his roof if he didn't already. The adjuster looked at it and said because the fiberglass was exposed, this was old hail and he couldn't pay for it. Now, which of these stories is more compelling?